Welcome to the Warframe weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Kuva Quartakk. The only way to get this weapon is by vanquishing a Kuva Lich that's wielding it. Now, just in case you don't know how to do that, don't worry, because I recently made an updated guide for hunting down Kuva Liches, and I will link it in the video description. The Kuva variant of the Quartakk comes with two different fire modes, but it works differently than most other weapons with multiple fire modes. Basically, if you're hip firing it, it's fully automatic with relatively low fire rate, but when you aim down sights, it switches to a 4-round burst. Now, while the weapon does primarily impact damage, there is still a lot of puncture and slash on it as well. It's actually quite balanced, and for the fully automatic mode, we have a 21% crit chance with a 1.9 times crit multiplier and a 33% status chance, which changes a little bit when you aim down sights to use the burst fire. In this mode, the crit chance is 31%, the crit multiplier is 2.3 times, and the status chance is a little bit lower at 27%. The biggest difference between the regular Quartakk and the Kuva Quartakk, aside from just better stats across the board, is that the regular Quartakk does not have a full auto mode. It will burst fire whether you're hip firing it or aiming down sights. So it's not just an upgrade that actually does more damage than the base Quartakk, even before you factor in the extra damage type you get based on the Warframe you spawn the Lich with. It's also more versatile because you have two different fire modes. Now, as far as the bonus element goes, it depends on what kind of a build you want to run on the Kuva Quartakk. If you're gonna go vital and heat, get bonus heat, but if you're gonna go with hunter munitions and focus it on slash, get either toxin or cold, because it will save you a mod slot. And finally, before we check out the build, I just quickly want to mention that as a Kuva weapon, the Kuva Quartakk gains more mod capacity and you extract more mastery from it as you put on more and more forma up to a maximum of 5. So if you want to squeeze the absolute maximum out of this thing and unlock the ability to install a lens, you're gonna have to put on 5 forma. Now, regardless of which version of the build you're gonna choose, it's definitely going to be a hybrid. I personally prefer the vital and heat version of the build because it works really well with both fire modes, whereas the hunter munitions version, which uses primarily slash to do its damage, works much better if you're aiming down sights because you get more crit chance to begin with and you're most likely going to be running Argon Scope to get even more. The build is actually fairly similar, by the way. You just replace Hellfire with Hunter Munitions and Hammershot with Argon or Galvanized Scope. One thing about the Kuva Quartakk that I actually like is how the physical damage types are quite balanced, so you have a decent amount of impact to punch through Corpus shields, but you still have enough slash to get the occasional slash prog here and there. The only downside of that is that every now and then you will get puncture procs, which don't do an awful lot. But overall, the weapon is actually quite nice to use, and the damage it does isn't too shabby either. The only thing I don't like about the Quartakk is that the fire rate is a little bit low, both on the full auto mode as well as on the burst fire mode. Though to be fair, that's easily fixable by either running a fire rate mod instead of Hammershot or by just running Point Strike instead of Critical Delay. So overall, I would say the Kuva Quartakk is pretty mediocre as far as Kuva weapons go. There are definitely worse ones out there, but there are also better ones. So pick it up if you think it looks cool. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.